Hello, and welcome to my Therapist Plays Disco Elysium analysis series. So, on today's episode, we are looking for more ways that we can establish authority with the union boss so that we can actually progress the case. There's been so many worthwhile things kind of breaking down about Harry's character the more we learn about him, and we are definitely getting more into that today. This time, we're going to take a look at some of our personal statistics on the headlights of Kim's vehicle. And in doing so, not only do we learn things about Harry, but I guess we're learning a little bit more about me as well. Let's just say that I've been somewhat avoidant of taking an extreme stance on just about anything in this game, and I'm finally getting called out for it. There's a lot going on in this episode, but I think I'll just let the playthrough speak for itself this time, so let's jump in. You have to gain authority in Titus's eyes for the investigation to advance. Soften him up first. Maybe investigate the crime scene or the body. Look for a witness. Get help from the union boss or the company rep. Tie them to any other crimes. So I have to actually establish my authority with him. Well, I mean, to me, it seems like his idea of authority is like standing up for people in your collective. How might I get him to see us in the same light? I don't think it's as simple as upgrading my authority, is it? Let me just make sure there's nothing.
The circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Yeah, I have to establish authority. So I could just put another point in that, which I think is worth doing. Is there anything that we're wearing that could impact this? If I punch Kuno successfully, he'll respect us more? No, we're over that now. That was like Harry who just woke up from a drunk coma, probably still hungover and still like following ingrained behaviors. Now we are a little more self-respecting and we would not do something like that. I don't know why the flashlight doesn't give us more authority, because it should. I don't think any of this stuff is going to give us authority. No, does not appear to be that way. Yeah, we're going to get back to Kuno at some point. Okay, let's just see if I can put a point into this. And let's see what the chances are. If they're still too low, we may...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Oh, it's really bad. Okay. We were weak when we first met him, so I have to do some other things. Well, it was still worth putting a point in authority. Okay. Let's head back out into the world. Yeah, I have to do some other things first. So what is going to give us some more authority over him? We either need more information. Did he tell me about something about the headlights? I mean, I guess we can do that.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage.
This is something I love about Kim, because it is very much like he has designed a persona for himself that he is self-aware about, but it's just interesting how hard he has worked to suppress what are very innocent parts of himself in the pursuit of higher professionalism, right? There are such innocent things to be excited about your car, to be to indulge in a bit of like, smoking a cigarette once in a while, to entertain the idea that like some fictional fucking creatures could exist, right? But he kind of privatizes those things in pursuit of his professionalism and his composure, because both of those things are really him, but he only wants people to see one side of them, it seems like. I just find that really endearing about him. But it's also something where I would love to be like, Kim, let yourself live a little bit. Show me your excitement.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canelo comes to life with a whiny growl. That sound, you feel the wind in your hair as if you're already driving. But where?
Yes, where?
Down a narrow street, lined with shabby wooden houses, the 881 motor tract, coiling like a serpent high above. Children play under the viaduct, eyes turn to watch you as you pass.
What's
A
ahead?
valley of dogs, and before it, a familiar dome, like a ladybug without the colors. The building has a designated parking place for your carriage. This is Precinct 41, as close as you have to home now. It's far away.
Oh.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Okay, let's do that. Little bit of
As you
flashlight
hold your
meets
lettuce
headlight.
chip under the headlamp, a shimmering iridescent pattern appears. One you've definitely seen before.
It's gotta be my badge, right?
There she is. Revachol West.
There is a hint of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Look at the shimmering street
The
grid.
rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Wait, look
A
around here.
rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries.
A rat!
In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry. In the middle of a broken plaza, in a cone of light, barely visible in the daytime, two men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines.
What a fucking power line that is. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines. I mean, it's me, right? Kim is in shambles as far as I can tell. No, it's definitely Kim. He knows his lines. He knows how to keep those things separate and what they are for. And I feel that Harry does not know how to keep his innocent parts separate from his professional ones, and that's why he's like kind of a fucking mess.
Ah, Martinez.
He smells the air and says, "Where are we on this?" Point to the halogen map.
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment and
Right
inspects it.
here.
He says, "Finger near the top of the map on a segment of coast jutting into the great ocean." Seems nice.
No, it does not.
Look at the
There are
perforations.
many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Tally up the
The
different
first
rows.
row has 18 dots.
What about the next
The
one?
next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count them individually.
There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200.
What about the
The
last row?
has 3 perforations. That's it.
Hey, Kim, what do all these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Oh, God. What are we about to discover?
Son, here is where we score your life performance. You better hope it's good.
Oh, God. This is going to be the longest fucking playthrough ever.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
18 years I've done this.
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
I walked the land telling horrors and liars of the end to come. No. Probably some boring office job. No. I feel like I just went around apologizing all the time. Probably not as well. Probably this, actually. If I'm getting in touch with Harry before he became an officer, I imagine that the reason someone like him might have become an officer is because he was not able to sort out the difference between, like, I have ideas about society and the way things should be done, and I want to have a role in that, potentially to do good, but maybe some of the pressure of being in that role just, it wasn't what he thought it would be. But it's not unlikely that he did something pretty boring and was looking for something spicy, something where he made more of a difference.
No shame in working a regular job, detective. Sometimes after a long day of doing this, I even envy it. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see. Wow, more than 200.
Hey, look at that. There's a lot of surprise on his voice. Is that a lot?
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
Wow, okay, so maybe there is something... There is a separation between being a good cop and a bad person. And that our record here is probably something of a gradient. We have definitely been very efficient, but probably due to scrupulous means. I used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number?
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
Okay.
Confirmed kills. That sounds pretty evil. A drink would soften that feeling.
Is now a good time to pour one out for the fallen. So I'm a killer. Again, this is reintegration of self. Good and bad.
That's right. A killer of humans.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
We're winning a lot of points with Kim here.
What's it feel like to kill a man, Mr. McCoy? A young woman asked the man across the desk from her.
Ooh.
Honestly, babe, says John McCoy, crossing his ankles over said desk. I don't feel anything anymore. It's just like brushing my teeth. I do it once or twice a week and don't really think about it. There's no trace of guilt in his voice.
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think highly of these officers, yes.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
You know what, Kim? I am thankful for that. This is one of the things that I am proud to discover about myself, is that there's a lot of good and bad, actually. I think that something else our guy struggles with is not just the defense mechanisms, but also like the common distortions, the cognitive distortions. Right? And one of them is just black and white thinking, which is it's hard to like separate that everything I've done is either good or bad. I'm either a good person or I'm a bad person. I was either a good cop or I was a bad cop, right? It's a distortion of events as a result of like reduced self-esteem, right? And I think also catastrophizing, right? Assuming that if something bad is going to happen, it's going to be the worst version of it. As well as using should statements. I should have not lost my gun. I shouldn't have lost my badge. I should be a better person today, right? Like, there's a lot of issues with using this kind of phrase, which I'll just very briefly mention. But I just want you to know that I teach an entire 1.5 hour class on just using this word. I just taught one last week, and I will not do that here because we will literally never finish this game if I actually gave you my exhaustive, full, like, scope view on every single thing that is happening. I just will refrain. But I would just be very brief to say that when you use the word should, right? If you say something like this, if this is kind of how your inner dialogue sounds, and it is for Harry a lot, like, I imagine a lot of should statements to be coming through his mind. For example, I shouldn't have lost my gun. I should have lost my badge. Kim and I should be closer. I shouldn't have tried to hit Kuno. I should try to make things up to him. Like, this is probably one of the most common phrases in his mind, honestly. Essentially, what you're doing the second you say this, though, is you're inventing two versions of yourself. One who um, said the wrong thing, and one who said the right thing. Right? You basically imagined a version of yourself that did this thing correctly, and you're acknowledging that, like, ideally this is who you would really be, but this is who you ended up being, right? It's like literally kind of an identity crisis. You're imagining a version of yourself that found the gun, that found the badge, that is closer to Kim, that doesn't make all the bad decisions. And when you repeat this phrase over and over again, you're not just thinking of one small thing that you messed up doing. It becomes like a full chain reaction of, like, you end up thinking this is the person I should be, right? This is the ideal self. The one who is a better communicator, who is a better friend, who is a better whatever. And you're constantly going off this way into the, like, the flawed self, right? And this is unfortunately the one you live in as in reality. I should have said something else. I should be further along in my life. I should be a better cop. I should have said something different to Everett Clare, right? I shouldn't have tried that white check even though I had 58%, right? Like you're constantly going to be diverting yourself further and further away from all of the decisions that your ideal self makes. Like you're basically fracturing your perspective. And this is bad for your self-esteem. It spirals, right? Because we're constantly like, we're never going to live up to this ideal self. And the more you repeat this phrase, the more you feel bad that you're not this, right? And so what I encourage is that we don't use this construction. In fact, we don't use that word at all. The goal is not to become your ideal self because you won't be. This is a fiction. This is like literally just an imagination of yourself making better decisions. The goal is not to become the ideal self, it's to work on the flawed self, right? Because the more you just try to become this person and just regret everything you do, the further you are away from who you actually are in reality, which is this like very flawed person. So like I don't want your focus going this way. I want it here. Let's work on this. Let's work on these. Let's work on this, right? Because like getting into the deep end with that stuff is so much better than like what is essentially denial and focus on a fiction, right? Which is why I have been very rejecting of like volition and those sorts of things, because volition wants to encourage me to be the idealism, which is like it's a cool idea, but like you'll never be that, right? You'll get closer if you try to work on this, right? So how you might change that dialogue instead of I should have said something else. There's two components to this. One is state reality and acknowledge your potential. Because the problem with a should statement is that it doesn't describe reality. It describes like a fictional reality where you said something else, right? And you get focused on that. So we want to state reality. I said the wrong thing. And now acknowledge your potential. My communication needs work. This is not a process of just changing the word should to will. Like, oh, I will say the right thing next time. No, because you're still describing like some sort of idea about what will happen next. Like, this is real. You said the wrong thing. We own that, right? That's stating reality. That's what really happened. But we also acknowledge our potential here. Like, my communication needs work, right? It really is that simple. And a lot of people think that it's just about saying I am statements or I will, but these are just other versions of the word should. You know, I would like to be a better person. It's just the same thing. It's literally just the same thing. If I don't become a better cop, I'll never become a better person. Same thing. If I never, then I will. It's the same thing. It's just a different word than this, right? All of those things, they describe like a fictional version of yourself. Whereas these are like, this is acknowledging of who you actually are today, which is, I am not the person I want to be, right? If we're talking about a statement like, I should be a better person, we need to translate this to, I am not the person I want to be. My morals are, let's say, more important than I have been treating them. Right? Or something like that, right? We need to acknowledge where we are actually at right now. I am not the person I want to be. And then acknowledge that there is potential to change this. Like, my morals are more important than how I've been treating them. It is designed to push you in the direction of, it presents an actual solution, your potential to change this, right? So that's, again, that's a part of what I would work with on Harry is like, let me hear all of your should statements, because there would be a lot. And so that would be kind of one of our points of attack here. Should lead to becoming antisocial. I can imagine becoming aware of the pressure that makes you miserable may make you want to reject conjuring others altogether. Yeah, I mean, like, the issue with this statement is that, like, one little thought like this isn't gonna, like, fracture your identity too much, but 1,000 of them every day will. Just like one translation of this to something better is not going to change your life, but 1,000 of them will, right? And you can reprogram your thoughts to be more in line with this. And it could lead to some higher social ability for sure. Isn't some sort of self-criticism healthy to help better yourself? Yeah, but that's what this part is, right? This is still self-criticism. I am not the person I want to be. It's just not phrased like this, which doesn't really present you a solution to that. This is just like regret. It's like, wow, I should be a better person. Okay, well, what's your potential to change that? The thing is we just stop here usually. Like, I should hang out with my friends more. I should really change my diet. Like, and then we just move on. That's not like helpful. That's not rigorous self-critique. It's just regret. This is much more like rigorous self-critique because it's like, look, I have really slacked on my diet lately. I know that my physique is more important to me. Right. So, like I said, I will usually teach a whole class on just this word because it's garbage for your vocabulary, but I won't do that now. I'll give you the short version. But yeah, that's a part of what we're discovering about ourselves, right? Imagine Harry now saying, "Oh, I should be that cop again." And didn't we even say something like that? I used to be good. There's some solace. Like, I should be like this guy. Good intention, but wrong approach, basically.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
He declines to elaborate.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others.
It gives you a meaningful look. I love that. I love a good meaningful look from my best bud.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not gardening? You've already got the yellow gloves.
Hey, there's his sense of humor.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
God damn it. The game reads my mind every time. I took it as a jab a little bit. But it, like a playful one. Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Love a good one of those.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
Oh, here it is. I guess we're an ultra liberal according to the game. We're definitely a sorry cop. Kim just wants to see you well, yeah. I think there was a white authority check with Kim.
Yes?
Let's see. No, it was logic. Okay. We need to establish authority in their eyes. Maybe investigate the crime scene or the body. I think we already did the body, no? It's gone now. I don't think we can find the body again. Guess we could talk to Joyce. That's a good point. We did do some investigation into Mr. Clare. And we haven't checked in with her in a while, so that would be a worthwhile thing to do. You know what it was really last time? I didn't have the flashlight out, and so I felt very dismantled by her rhetoric. So what I will do is I will blast her with the light this time.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I spoke with the lorryman at the
On the
roundabout.
contrary, officer. There are yet camioners you have not talked to. And don't look so surprised. In a time like this, it would be strange if Wild Pines didn't have eyes on the harbour.
Okay.
I suggest you go back and canvass for more suspects.
I talked to Mr.
You
Clare.
have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally, time to choose sides.
Uh-oh. I don't like choosing sides. Oh, God. He's a hero of the workers' movement. He's the champion of sworn fealty to. He's a bloated rainbow socialist. For a socialist, he's reasonable. Yeah, I need Rex's help. I have no idea what any of this means. I wish to swear fealty to you and to the cause of capital. Okay, so he's a socialist, she's a capitalist, I guess. Yeah, I think the most clear answer here is just that I didn't like him, and it has nothing to do with his politics. I just I didn't like his approach. Oh, I didn't even notice this one. It's not important if I liked him. I was just doing my job. That's a really fucking adult way to say that. It's a good point. I could choose the one that endears her to you. It is the true professional option. Yeah. This is okay. Like, this is legitimately what I would say. You mean boring way to say that? Look, I don't care. Okay. Sometimes being boring is like, I don't know. Look at Kim. Look at Kim. Okay. He's a little bit boring in service of his professionalism. And I respect that. I like that a lot. Boring cop. It's gonna get me the boring cop thought, isn't it? Kim is a moralist. I mean, that is what Kim would say. I know, and I'm on Team Kim right now.
Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
Yes.
The RCM does not pick sides in this.
Boom.
I hope it doesn't come off any of those.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself.
I actually am a lot
He
like
felt
Kim.
like
Yeah.
discussing something.
Hmm.
How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
She wants me to
Tell
get
her
Gracie.
she'll like you for it.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Okay. Um, Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun. I mean, I guess he kind of is.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. He's able to contain the anger and surprise. When I said, be wacky, I didn't mean wildly, grossly irresponsible and damaging to the RCM.
Like, see what I mean? I'm not really thinking through these replies a lot. I didn't know that was going to be so impactful. If I had to have a criticism of the game, it would be like, sometimes I would want to say stuff that is not necessarily what I believe, but to get on her side, right? But if Kim takes everything I say earnestly, like there was a moment when we were talking to Measurehead where he was like, this racist is bad, but I'm sure the next one will be better. Like he was being sarcastic, and I thought I was being sarcastic too, because my response was, oh, I actually liked the other racist better, right? What I was trying to do was like demean Measurehead by being like, this guy ain't shit. But it seemed like Kim took that to be like, oh, well, why do you like the other racists? Like, I was just trying to be sarcastic, you know? But then the game interprets that as very earnest. Yeah, there's not really tone indicators. It's true. Well,
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this to gauge their reactions. It's all part of.
I love his save, though. His save is so good.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
Look, I'm just trying to get her to underestimate us, okay? I don't know. Like I said, okay? This is this is how my brain works, okay? Like I have no real grasp on like what I'm going to say's impact on the plot. Sometimes I just say shit. Telling her about you losing a gun just makes you look responsible. I mean, I guess so. How is this going? Has this detecting produced a gun? No.
Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Is there anything else?
If I'm already here, I might as well just say it again, right?
Oh.
The lieutenant looked. He's a. When I said, be wacky.
Unconventional.
Incredible.
I guess we could just say it
Simply
again.
incredible. And how is... yes. As you said.
Please don't get him in a loop. If he gets in a loop, it will last forever. Ask him to say something else, please.
Of course. Thank you for the advice. I'm glad you were here to assist. Your other dealings with Everard are still of considerable interest to me.
The lieutenant will be more lenient toward sharing those, hopefully.
Okay. It sounds like there's something funnier that can happen if Kim's not here. Anyways.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later, until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Well, I don't think that I have any evidence to go through this with her, so I'm just going to ask her about this reality we're
This
living in.
Reality?
Tell me about the economic reality. No time to explain, just give me the lowdown. Look, okay, it's right now I'm just picking shit that sounds funny. Okay.
No, but please, a little context. We're not in such a hurry.
It's related to that medical episode. I'm having trouble remembering the most basic terms.
Yes, the episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
She puts down her thermal cup and looks at you.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
Break it down for me, Joyce.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Oh, it's a meme in the game where you can keep saying it to her like 20 times in a row. Okay. I'll see if I can come back to it without Kim here. I don't know if we'll get that opportunity. You know, like part of like I'm not look, as far as the game goes, this is more what this playthrough is focused on, right? Like the game is just guiding us to those topics. Like I'm not really concerned if like I don't know, say some dumb shit. That's okay. Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
What is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about
I'm
Martinez.
not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
Tell me more about Martinez. I'm not a good ambassador. What's behind a statement like that? Is there perhaps a should statement behind that? Because that's the real like dangerous part of the word should, is that you don't even actually need to think or say it to still be in the complex part of it, right? I'm not a good ambassador implies I should be a better ambassador, which leads down that whole spiral, right? That's one of the main. That's one of the only things I've actually learned about Joyce in my time talking to her. Who benefits? It's a good question. I think we benefit. I think she's being flippant. I've only been here once before as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins of terminal fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. I don't know. Something about this line really got something to me.
As I told you, Martinez used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the reeds are the real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea. It's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the
Yes.
ocean?
We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
Vast, lukewarm, and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of the
Caillou,
island?
as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Interesting. Tell me about another. Oh yeah, tell me about Revachol.
Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city?
Great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism. a fact.
History, detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Who built
The
this city?
nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Semenine and Il Marat, depending on your creed.
When
In
was
the
Shaw
DeLorean
built?
century. 380 years ago.
Why will it
They
resolve
say
history?
it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts.
Oh
The
no.
stuff of men.
I want to take no part in them.
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
Look, the person who has spoken the most cleanly and truthfully to me so far in this game, who has not, like, tried to cover up any part of his perspective, is the money guy in fucking The Whirling in Rags, okay? He's just speaking his truth, all right? He's just telling me it's all about money. You got to have money to make money. You got to put money in investing so you can make more money later. Like, the dude just he didn't need to like obscure his beliefs behind all this like political history and talk about his childhood, whatever the fuck that she's on about. Okay, he just told it exactly as it is in his real reality. Look, it's all about money. This whole fucking thing is about money. What if that's the truth, okay? What if this murder doesn't matter at all? What if it's not a crime of passion? What if it's not about choosing sides? What if this isn't a war for culture? What if it's just about money? So we're pretty much at the center of the world.
We're quite a way off. About 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Look to the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Say nothing. Observe the large body of water swelling, the cold.
She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence. See, this is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I love the way he talks to us at times like this. Like, he's trying to balance so many things. He's keeping up his professionalism. He's composing himself to whoever we're talking to, and he's encouraging us without talking down to us to make it seem like we are in any sort of conflict. Like, even when he was clenching his jaw, he was doing it very subtly, because he's also protecting like our image as stable cops and people. Kim is what ties this whole reality together, as far as I can tell. Like, he without him here, this would be a disaster.
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue later.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
I love that.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Conceptualization, impossible. What is reach for something fundamental? I mean, we could try this. What is think of something close to you? Let's try that.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This
That's
isn't about you.
unbelievable.
It's about reality.
I am a failure. I am a complete failure. God damn it. We'll come back.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
The percentages mean nothing to me because I have gotten some fucking crazy ones
Wow. So
and some
someone's
terrible
been a little
ones.
boring.
What?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
I feel seen. I like standards. Yeah. I'm just trying to do my job. No need for extravagance. Yeah. What is this? Picking on me for not being crazy enough? That's the least of my concerns. Okay, look, I resent this drama. This is bullshit. Let's get Kim involved. Kim, am I boring?
You? I wouldn't worry about that.
See?
See? You're so regular and vinyl brown. He doesn't even want to talk to you about it.
How does that keep happening? How? How does that keep happening? That's like the third time I have said something that the game literally says after me. Oh, God. It's literally me. You're so regular and vinyl brown. He doesn't even want to talk to you about it. This is so amazing, though. I will refrain from going on a 2-hour tangent about how well this represents, like, the internalization of your thoughts, because I kind of want to do that, like, late game, late after we've internalized lots of stuff. I'll make, like, a dedicated analysis video about the internalization and when moments like this happen, because I want to be able to pull from these moments. Yeah, it's going to be its own video, but I'll do it like after we've basically completed the game or something. It'll be like one of my big wrap up ones. Because to me, it's like one of the most interesting things about the game. I am not a boring cop. I like standards. Look, I'm just trying to do my job. No need for extravagance.
Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's copper type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send that to
I do not like the tone that my own thoughts have about. They're so condescending. Wait, will this be my capo type now?
Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits.
Oh, you already know how you tend to hide behind professional. Like, the more I learn about this, the more I just find that my personality is exactly the same as Kim's. Accept your destiny. Okay, the only concern I have is this going to stop anything that we're doing with the sorry cop? Does this impact that in any way? No. No, it's not going to, because for narrative purposes, I want to continue the sorry cop. Oh, I can be sorry and boring? Is it bad that I'm like, oh, thank God, I can be sorry and boring? Whatever, I am not ashamed.
Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent. That would be too dramatic.
Yes, let's keep it. Let's shut drama the fuck up, okay? No drama in my life. Too boring to even have an opinion. Oh my God. Look, Kim seems to get on just fine. Kim, back me up, okay? Being boring is cool sometimes. You just don't fucking know, all of you out there, you non-boring people. I can't handle being extreme and opinionated and stuck in my own ways. Ask her for money. We already did that. She wouldn't give me any. God damn it. What the fuck? Okay, so it looks like you've got a bit of the normal in you, a touch of the regular. 4 grams of Johnny Normal Cop. Who would have thunk it? You, the extremist of all the cops. You said some pretty boring things back there, and now you have 2 choices. You can either leave it all behind and forget about it, or you can try to utilize your normalcy, internalize it. Get a touch of the vanilla back into the herring-flavored egg and licorice ice cream of your mind. Yeah, is it bad that I'm like... I'm happy to do that. So I think what? We don't need to internalize these things anymore, right? Or how do I... I guess I need to just... J'aimez-vous. Revachol Special Administrative Region, the Calais. The Insulindian Ocean Coalition Government Insulindian Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Trouvant, the apricot company, World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corners, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts, the one you truly must complete. Why? Forgetting thoughts requires skill points, so choose carefully. So what, I need to... Oh, how do I unlock a new slot? Do I need a skill point for this? You can open a new slot for a skill point. Okay, I will need a skill point. We will return to this. Okay. Whatever. Okay, whatever. I will take an extreme stance on one thing, which is that I will remain professional and neutral in a very extreme sort of way. If it makes me a boring, sorry cop, so be it. That's just the way I like it. Look, all this other stuff is too controversial for me, okay? Too controversial for me. I don't want anything to do with it. Let's go find that fucking bird thing. You want to see boring? I will make this the most extremely boring cop ever. I'll fucking show you all. Where's my cockatoo book?
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
Not there.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
No, not there either. Where's the fucking cockatoo book? Is it here?
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the
Yes!
its beak slightly open.
For a
It
net!
looks as if the bird is calling out the book title. From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo.
What about this guide to cockatoos, storekeeper?
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
Hey, Hero Wolfgang, thank you so much for subscribing. Hope things are going well. They are going very well, thank you. Oh, I can't afford it. Oh, I could steal it, though.
Turns out
pages.
that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems.
What? Behavioral problems. Suddenly, I find myself very drawn to this subject.
You don't have behavioral problems. That's garbage. You're cool.
Liar. Such a fucking lie, composure. We're not gonna steal it, because that would not be cool to Annette, so we'll come back when we have some more money. I'm too boring for behavioral problems. Whatever.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Storekeeper, what kind of board games do you have here?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography.
I can't tell if this stuff is too boring for me or if I'm too boring for it.
Graubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Who are
Children!
you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Can I get a board game session going on with Annette and Fritta Girl and Kuno and Kuno S? That would be a fucking great side thing to do. Do I have friends? Look at the lieutenant.
Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Oh, wow. The exact thought that I was saying that our character probably is thinking all the time. This right here is what I have been... this is what I was operating on for like the majority of the playthrough so far, until very recently. Was this question. Is Kim really my friend here, or are we just doing things together? I think that there's a friendship brewing between us now. But it would be appropriate for us to still have some self-doubt at that. Look at me. Who'd want to have children with me? That's, yeah. This one's sarcastic. Yeah, I can actually detect the sarcasm in that.
Then you're a lucky man, officer. Children are the greatest of treasures. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
That's what we're gonna do when we shift into Helldivers. Brutally colonizing and repressing other civilizations for the good of their democracy, of course. What are all these whirl things?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all.
Oh wow, he can detect the sarcasm, but detecting that telling people you lost your gun is... well, look, that's why I didn't become a cop. We can all detect sarcasm, but we can't all detect what's good for something in case.
I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
Let's look through the
An
pile
endless
here.
variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure gamebook titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag.
Maybe I'm not into all this binoclard stuff. I don't really know what the fuck any of this is about. Anything that catches my eye.
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting supplements module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real.
What? That's
Nonsense
expensive.
for anemic binoclards.
What is a binoclard? Is that... I don't know. I can't buy any of this shit anyways, so... yeah, okay, well... that was unproductive. We either need to find our badge. Maybe if we find our badge, Maybe we can go back and talk to the strike people. Maybe they have like something insightful to say that could be useful for the case. Or does Tommy have anything to say? We haven't checked in on Tommy in a
Stuck in the
while.
rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Let's see. Last time we asked him for a cigarette. This time let's ask him for some money. Care to spare some change?
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work.
They
The
who?
bosses, man.
So you're broke, got it. What else did I have to ask
You
here?
know. What you need?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Just be straight with him.
I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of
We
Terminal
have a
B.
credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Why are you still hanging
I got
around?
the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
Working on these rhymes clearly leads to muscular atrophy. Make sure you don't get hooked on poetry.
What do you think could be conducting the
Look,
drug
man,
trade then?
I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
That's very neutral of you. I respect that. I mean, we're never going to level up our conceptualization probably, so I might as well just ask him. Let's hit him with our best verse.
Your best verse? You don't even have a bad verse in here. Just tumbleweed and liquor stains. Wait, no. What are you doing?
She broke me. She fucking
That's
broke me.
brutal, man. But you know, time will...
No, stop. He's already mortified.
No, Tommy, these are my rhymes.
That's,
In the name of God, what are you doing?
Oh no, let's not continue down that path. It's not real, guys. It's not my actual thoughts. It's a
yeah,
poem.
yeah, I get that, and it's cool, but...
Fuck it. I guess we have to keep going.
Yeah, I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life. Doesn't matter if they're robust, they're honest. So, thanks, man.
Yes. And I also thank you for stopping. We have a drug investigation to return to. How about we do that?
At the end of the day, I know that Kim is still more boring than me. And that's why I love him. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, consider giving it a like and letting me know what you thought of it in the comments. You can subscribe to catch the next video here, or you can see things a little bit earlier if you support the channel either through Twitch or Patreon. Links to both of those and the community Discord are in the description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.